I would acknowledge from the outset that we are at an inflection point in the regulation of technology, and getting that right is really important. It's really important to Google, to users, and to society more generally. We've heard about the great benefits of technology on the panel this morning, but we've also heard about some of the potential harms and concerns. And so the question is, for me at least, how can we move forward in a way where regulation is effective and delivers real results for users and companies? And I'll offer three thoughts on how we can achieve that. The first is around cross-sectoral regulation, right? There are undoubtedly tensions and challenges and trade-offs that need to be considered and balanced by regulators, by companies, and by society writ large. We hear a lot about these debates: privacy competition, privacy security, privacy and online safety. And there are lots of examples I could go into, but in the interest of time, won't. So the question is, how can we establish effective regulatory conversations here in the UK, across Europe and globally to manage these conversations in an integrated way? One example I would give is the work Google has done here in the UK with the UK Competition and Markets Authority and the UK ICO, where we are looking at where the future takes us in terms of the future of cross-site tracking technology, and trying to do that in an open, transparent, and kind of multi-stakeholder way. Google recognizes that third-party cookies are being deprecated. They're on the way out. We recognize that cross-site tracking needs to change and evolve. And we're looking with regulators about how we can make investments in privacy-enhancing technology to make that happen through our Sandbox project. And the benefits of having a competition regulator and a privacy regulator listening to our technologists in the room at the same time are massive. Both sets of regulators, both on the competition side and the privacy side, can understand and can see it, as part of the same conversation, where the challenges and decisions lie. So a cross-regulatory approach, welcome the work in the UK of the Digital Regulatory Cooperation Forum we've seen. I think that's a great example of the type of innovation we need to continue to see around the world. So a cross-regulatory dialogue is going to be vital. DMA, DSA, the Data Act, the Data Governance Act, the AI Act. My team is tracking, I think, 100 privacy laws around the world, and that's before you get to the analogous competition content and consumer protection instruments. So the need to have forums, to have integrated regulatory conversations at speed and at scale to allow companies to scale up is more important than ever. Second quick thought: technology can be, is, and will be part of the solution. We see through Google's investment in privacy-enhancing technologies in the ad tech space how we're looking at technology to do some of the lifting. And there are countless other examples of that. Google's investments in federated learning. I'm bewildered and amazed by the fact that we can learn words from what you type in a keyboard without anything ever leaving your device. So investments on on-device processing, differential privacy, doing more with less data, I think is a big part of the solution and a big part of where we're investing our focus and energy. And the last thing is, call it agile regulation, smart regulation, regulating for results. We need to invest in conversations that allow regulators to scale impact more speedily. I'm not minimizing the role of enforcement. Enforcement is and will continue to be an important part of the regulatory toolkit. But to scale these challenges, to get to answers quickly, we need to develop and utilize some of the other mechanisms that GDPR and privacy laws had in mind: seals, codes, certifications, age verification standards. Some good examples of agile and smart regulation: the ICO Age-Appropriate Design Code, the DPC Fundamentals Guidance, right? These are examples that have had impact, huge impact on how companies think about these challenges and issues inside their walls and think about the development of technology. So enforcement is always important, but to scale solutions in the way that we all want and to bring those conversations together more quickly, we really need to invest in agile, smart regulation seals code and standards at the same time. So, to kind of conclude and to summarize, absolutely recognize that technology needs to embrace new regulation and change and adapt to meet the concerns that are levelled at it. I think the way to do that is investing in the technology, investing in a cross-regulatory dialogue, including with civil society and other stakeholders, and looking at ways to fold them into the process, and above all else, looking at how we scale seals, codes and certifications in parallel with strong and effective enforcement. So those would be my thoughts on how we move forward.